Sometimes when we're cooking, just like in life, when we take an extra second to pay attention to the little things, the little details, that's where we go from good to excellent. Steak sandwich is simple, straightforward. You guys have made a steak sandwich. Let me show you how a few little tips and tricks to take your steak sandwich game up like 3 levels into like excellent territory. I'm gonna start with my steak. I'm not gonna be cooking it just yet because I have something I wanna do. This is called scruffing. If you guys have watched the show, you've seen this before. I'm not doing like a single steak per person. I want a big, thick steak, like a steak for 2 or maybe even 3. This thing's huge. I'm scruffing. That's when we take a very sharp knife and we basically just make a crosshatch pattern. What we're doing is we're creating more surface area, little nooks and crannies for all of our seasoning to get in. And the texture changes too. We get those crispy little bits. So your crust, it's a more dynamic crust. So that's tip number 1, right? We're giving the steak a chance to breathe, a chance to have more surface area, a chance for more crispiness. Now I've got my high plains steak and my blackened seasoning, and I'm gonna go pretty hard. This is one of the nice things about a huge steak like this. I can get a really beautiful, flavorful crust because I'm not worried about overcooking my steak. So go hard on all sides. You'll see as you start, even if you want to, you can use your tongs. You can kind of push into those little nooks and crannies. Again, that's scruffing, opens up surface area, and it allows the seasoning to hold, which is really, really nice. And that's it. This is a tip number 2, I should say. Screaming hot, set to stun, oil, screaming hot griddle, and throw your steak down. You want it sizzling instantly because we want to preserve a nice medium at the end on this beautiful ribeye. While that's going, we can get to the rest of our stuff. I've got an onion, simple yellow onion. This is not a place for technique. This is just basic, but I am gonna be cooking it in that fat from the beef. As the beef cooks, some of that fat's gonna come out and we're cooking our onions in beef fat. So maybe that is a tip, Andy. Cook your onions in beef fat. Let those cruise for just a bit. Let's get to our sauce. Very simple sauce, but we could just do mayonnaise. But we're doing mayonnaise, a bit of Grey Poupon, or CJ, he would love that, and a bit of Worcestershire sauce. That's it. These 3 little things take mayo to a new level. We're bringing some acidity with the mustard, and we're bringing a bit of savory with the Worcestershire sauce. Done. If you want to, you can add a little color at the end, just a bit of parsley. It just makes everything look nicer. So that's another tip. 3. That's 3. Add a bit of parsley to your sauce.
4.
4. We're on our way to 10. Toss your onions around every once in a while. When you flip your steak, you should see bubbly golden goodness. Like now you'll start to see where the little nooks and crannies really start taking shape. They really start being more pronounced. While that's cruising, let's get to our sourdough. Use any bread that you like, but cut it thick because this is gonna be a hearty sandwich. We need the bread to hold up to it. So thick cut. This is from a whole loaf, so I can control how thick it is. A bit of oil, and that's it. If you want to, grab some of the beef fat and bring that over as well. I'm a toast both sides kind of guy. Andy, you?
Absolutely.
Love the texture. Love the texture. Once your onions are done, take them off. Flipping the bread on both sides is nice. Adding cheese right away. Cheese on flip, so it starts to melt. I want to do something extra. Maybe this is number 5, the 5th and final thing to know. I'm a sucker for fresh thyme, fresh herbs in general. Butter and herbs on a bed become the bed so that the steak doesn't get overcooked, but it's a bath. It's a little thyme and butter bath.
A little butter bath.
Butter bath, baby, on the griddle. So what's happening is the steak is finishing cooking with residual heat, not direct heat because the thyme is keeping it elevated. But what's happening is all this butter, this fantastic flavor. You can even like flop the steak over, let it sit around in that thing. But when we rest, make sure it's coated in the butter, throw the herbs on top and let it rest with the herbs. It's just gonna, like all the flavors just gonna sink into that steak. Bring your bread off, let your steak rest for at least 5 minutes before we slice it. Then it's time to build. We're gonna sauce both sides. Be as generous or as selfish as you like. What's the opposite of generous? Generous? Shellfish.
Shellfish.
Obviously. The sauce as much as you like. Then onions, then arugula. I love arugula. It's peppery. It's more than just lettuce. It's like a flavorful, beautiful green. And then some of that stunning steak over the top. If you want this to be more rare, cook it faster. If you like this more well done, please don't do well done, but you could go medium well over the top. But that's the kind of sandwich people like send texts about. I had this sandwich, you gotta look at it. So this is the one people Instagram about.
Absolutely.
This is your steak sandwich, like to the next level. That's what you need. For all the newbies out there who haven't had your griddle that long, cleaning and storing your griddle is very, very simple. If you've seasoned it correctly, scrape it clean, push everything out through that rear grease, and then add a bit of water. If some like leftover stuff is really stubborn, the steam is gonna lift all of the stubborn stuff so we have a nice clean surface. Then I'm gonna add a bit of oil, and that's it. This is the main thing. Clean it after you cook, while your food's resting or while your food's still hot and you wanna take a second so you don't burn your mouth, and make sure it's shiny. Clean it right after, make sure it's shiny. That's all you gotta remember. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this is like not beard friendly. However, Ethan, is it Ethan friendly?
Yeah.
Did you get down with that?
Yeah.
Is that your jam, Andy?
Absolutely. I said that a lot this episode.
Here we go.
Most definitely.
Is it all over?
No, you did all right.
Thank you.
So it is beard friendly.
I got no words for that. It's a savory bomb. The melty cheese is wonderful. It's almost like a grilled cheese on the tops and bottom, whatever. Wow. The sweetness of the onions, the arugula. You gotta be done with this episode. I got nothing to say. Whoa. That's what I gotta say. Whoa. I don't think I could eat a whole one of those. That is a behemoth of a sandwich.
Don't worry, I got you.
Thanks, Ethan. I appreciate it. So, things to remember. Scruff your steak. Little cross hatches. Opens up surface area so seasoning can stick. Super high heat. Get that crust. What were the other tips? Season your mayo. Oh, the butter bath. Put the thyme.
Yeah, parsley in the sauce.
Toast both sides of your bread. Were there a few other tips in there? Probably.
I'm sure.
If I missed anything, let me know
Yeah,
down in the
let us know
comments.
down below in the comments. What other tips
Yeah.
did you take from this?
Thank you. I'm gonna need a nap. I haven't finished the whole thing.
Let's do it.
Wow. I'm down. Okay. Caramelize your onions and beef fat. That was the other one. That's all I got. Thank you so much. Let me know in the comments below. What would you like to see in the future? Are you gonna make this? And I hope you do. I really hope you do because it's crazy. Do all the stuff. Like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. This is Cook, Eat, Repeat, where I'd like to help you become a better cook one recipe at a time. I'm your host, Chef Nathan Lippy. See you guys in the next video. If I survive this behemoth.